Hey guys, so after a year, I am back. I did want to film during my school year, but I just didn't really have the time. And I was just like, I don't even know what to film about. But I am back in this beloved chair once more with this time I have iced coffee. But yeah, I am back for another coffee chat. And today's topic is gonna be about college. And I just finished college in December, and I was like, maybe it would be good to talk about like the things I've learned in college. And just looking back, I had to reflect a lot. And I don't know, a couple people asked me to do something about college, so here I am. So let's get started. So looking back in my college years, I loved college. The whole experience, it's definitely a unique experience that you will never have ever in your life again. Just being able to live with your friends, seeing them almost every single day, if not every day, and just fellowshipping with them, hanging out. And if you've had strict parents growing up like I did, just the freedom that you have living away from your parents. And so yeah, I truly loved my college experience, and I look back on it very fondly, even though there have been very good times and very hard times. I'm very grateful that God really just used the past 4 or 5 years in my life to really just shape me and grow me. And I definitely am not the same person as I was my freshman year to now. I mean, yeah, I was 18 and now I am 20, almost 23. So that's kind of weird. But I'm glad to say that I have grown a lot since then. So I have a list, and I'm not going to share in any particular order. But the first thing I want to talk about is academics, and how high school is nothing like college. And so I learned that very quickly, and I struggled honestly in my grades. But college just really makes you realize how important time management is, because like once you fall behind in your lectures, you're done for like the semester. Like it's gonna be a constant struggle of wanting to catch up. And just that coupled with like 3, 4, 5 classes, you're just juggling so much on your plate, plus extracurricular activities if you are doing anything like that. And so from the get-go, like having like everything planned out, knowing how much time to spend on each thing and what to do even after your classes, it's just, you have to learn that so quickly, and that will really just kind of set how you'll be for the rest of the 4 years. And so for me, I did not manage my time super well. I was not prepared for college at all. High school is really nothing compared to college. And also what I realized is that it doesn't matter if you're like pretty like up there in your class, because in college there will always be smarter people than you. The general population is just, everyone is kind of average, or so I think, or maybe that's my own thinking that I told myself to make me feel better. But anyways, so that's that. Time management, super important, something I learned in college, and hopefully it'll translate over to like whenever I have a job, because I'm still looking for one. Second, kind of tying in with academics, is don't stress so much about like your major, because like a majority of people that I know have switched their majors, and it's not like once you like are set on something, you're like set for the rest of your years. I mean, I know some people who like switch their majors like their senior year too. And so yes, like it might be a situation where you have to stay longer, but yeah, like don't be afraid that just because you chose one major that you have to stick with it. If you have a passion for something else later on, Definitely like consider all your options, talk to your academic advisor. Yeah, it's like college is a place for you to really understand who you are as a person and just knowing what you do want to do for your life and how you want to use it after college. And so for me, I graduated with biology, but I actually am more interested in helping like people now, like interacting with people, whether it's like children or women, and that's just completely different from biology. I actually just stuck with it and graduated with it because it was my senior year, and I was just like, I should just finish with biology. And it's not like I'm still interested in science, but just for like my life purpose, like it's not something that I want to be in. I would have never imagined that I would go from a science major to having a passion in helping people, like kind of like social work. Because like when I went into college, I was so set on becoming a scientist, and I was like, I want a job where I don't have to interact with people, like it's the least amount of interaction. And so that's why I wanted to go into lab work. I'm specifically a microbiologist, and people would be like, you know, you don't really interact with people, like is that okay? And I'm like, yeah, exactly, that's the point. Like I don't want to interact with people. But now like towards like junior, more senior year, yeah, my heart just kind of changed. And so it might not be like your heart changes senior year like it did for me, but any time before then too, like when like college is a time of when you're exposed to a lot of different things and things you've never like heard about before or etc. And so like don't close the doors like to anything, but yeah, just kind of be open, and you know, maybe you'll find like your actual passion for something, and that's something you might not have ever imagined before. So yeah, keep your options open and don't stress out when your heart kind of changes with that. So the second or third thing that I want to talk about is dating in college, and it's a very common thing that happens in college. For me personally, I went into college in a relationship. It didn't last too long, but in my opinion, generally, freshman romances do not last very long. Of course, there is like the exceptions of couples who have started dating freshman year and you know they're seniors now, and maybe they'll get married. Good for them, but they are not the majority. But yeah, like from what I've seen with friends or like just other people, and my friends have told me as well, it's just, you know, it ranges from like 2 weeks of dating to like 2 months or etc. And typically they just don't last long. And also, you just, as a freshman, you just got out of high school, you haven't had time to really mature, grow, learn anything yet. And so going into college, you're still kind of a baby, and it's just seeking out romance, seeking out love when you enter college. It's just maybe not the smartest thing. I know that like when you're entering college, you're just exposed to all these new people, and you're just like, wow, like I'm not stuck with high school people anymore, and there's like so many more options, and that's like exciting, like meeting people all the time. But from just knowing the things that I do, it really saves you from a lot of heartache, confusion, unnecessary drama if you just kind of stay away from wanting to seek out a relationship. I personally just would say don't do it freshman year. And even in college, like people are still learning, people are still growing. For me, I had this idea like, oh, I'm gonna find my husband in college, we'll get engaged like right after I graduate, and then I'll marry. Oh, silly me. Yeah, so Yeah, maybe it's because my tortilla didn't land on the pillar, so that's why I didn't find my husband at Baylor. You don't have to find a spouse in college. It's like not a requirement to be a successful human. Ring by spring, all of that thing. It's like, don't feel pressure to find someone. As a girl, I would just say, as a woman, as a female, I would just say that the males are still growing. I mean, I would say, of course, we are growing as well. But, you know, we're still developing. It's like, don't expect like instant like change once you get into college, and people are just super mature because they're not. And yeah, I'm still learning, I'm still growing as well. So there's that. The next thing is use your academic resources and your academic advisor. Like I really regret not going to my academic advisor sooner, and so that's why I tell like all my underclassmen friends, like, you should meet up with your academic advisor, like they'll help you. And so I went to them really late, and they were able to help me with my resume and just like job searching, etc. And it really helped me because I was feeling super overwhelmed because it was nearing like the end of my senior year. But yeah, just like even before then, like you should talk to them before your senior year so that maybe they can help you find jobs that maybe you've never heard about, and they can show you, and you'll learn like, oh, maybe like I can do this job and it's something you're interested in. And so I would really recommend using them, your advisors, because they are there to help you. Like that is their job. Also, like, if I've never personally used it, but like the tutoring services, if you need it, like never be like nervous or ashamed to ask for help. I think that is a big thing in like overarching theme of college, just like never be afraid to ask for help. Whether it's your professors or like TAs or your advisors or maybe even friends. We're all just helping each other out, and like the adults, like they're like the staff, they're there to help you succeed in your college life. And so use your academic resources. The next thing is friends. Yeah, friends is like a big thing in college, right? Like you can find your like soulmate kind of friends in college, where you're friends for life basically afterwards. Starting from like the beginning, like freshman year, don't stress out if you don't immediately click with people. And also like I personally just didn't have like the greatest freshman year experience of like finding friends. Like I feel that, maybe I didn't, but I felt that I tried so hard to make friends, and it just didn't really work out. And there were times when I did feel lonely, and a lot of my friends ended up being upperclassmen, and I didn't mind that. But yeah, just people my grade, it was not the easiest thing. Like as the years go by, that your friends will come and go, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. Because looking back my 4 or 5 years, like my group of friends have changed so much every year. Like maybe within a year, like I'm super close with one person, like fall semester, and then spring semester, like we just stopped talking at all. And so it can happen even within a year. It is more common than you think that people are lonely or feel lonely in college, and at the right time, like you will find your group of friends that you do click with and who you just really enjoy spending time with, and they truly value you too as a friend. Yeah, like don't try to like conform yourself to people so that you can be accepted, because there's honestly such a wide variety of people in college. Don't stress freshman year, don't stress about like not having a lot of friends. Like college isn't even about having a lot of friends, and just over the years you will, like, your friend group may solidify or not. And I guess for me personally, like I really just felt really like solid in my friendships. Junior, senior year, friends will come and go, and there will be friends who do stay. So last but not least, I just want to leave with on an encouraging note that when you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you don't know what you're doing in life, when you feel like you're just so lost, then that's okay. In college, you'll feel like that a lot of times, or maybe that's my own personal experience, but I like definitely had like small crises several times throughout the 4 or 5 years that I've been in college. You know, like sometimes it would just become so overwhelming that I would start crying so hard randomly, and it's just because I've had so much built up in me and I never released it. And so if you need like a crying session, go for it. Like, it's totally fine to just cry it out, because your body really needs that. If you need to talk to a counselor, and if it's becoming so overwhelming and you just need someone to talk to and you're not super comfortable with talking to your friends, then talk to a counselor. Maybe they can help you. But yeah, for sure, talk to your friends about it. Just don't keep everything to yourself. But yeah, I would just say those feelings of feeling lost and being overwhelmed and clueless, that's very normal. And so yeah, I would just say just keep going, and also there's like a balance. Like, keep going, keep pushing forward, like you got this, but also you need to know your limits. And I talked about this in my gap semester like coffee chat video, but I'm like the type of person to keep going, and so God literally had to just be like, no, Jane, stop. And he gave me a gap semester. And so I was just like, it really just threw me out of the loop, and I'm just like, gap semester, like, is that even a thing? But it is. And it really just helped me so much in so many ways. And so whether it is something like a gap semester, like I said before, that if it is a gap semester you need, then don't feel ashamed that you need one. It's like totally fine. And so as time goes on, like, you'll figure out what you want to do in life and what your drive is, what your passion is. And also, even afterwards, maybe after college, you still don't know and you still feel lost. But I've come to realize that it's actually a very common occurrence amongst people, like during college and even after college. Like, for me right now, I am at a place where like I moved back with my parents, and I have yet to find a job, just because like what I'm interested in is just very different from my major. And yeah, just finding a job on Guam is not the easiest thing. And so I feel very lost too, and I'm just like, God, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing here? But like, just throughout my time here, like, I'm always constantly reminded that like God has a plan and it's in God's timing. And like, do I really trust God in that? And so I'm always humbled. I'm like, okay, like, Jane, you have no reason to freak out, because all things are in God's hand. And so I'm just like, you're right, God, like, I have to, like, I want to trust in you. And so that's like my own personal thing. But yeah, for sure, like, don't beat up yourself over like needing a break or needing time to yourself or not knowing anything. And so yeah, definitely try to talk to someone about it if you want to. And maybe you'll find that your friends are feeling the exact same thing. So those are a few of the things that I've learned in college, and I hope that it has helped some of you guys. I know that a lot of the people who are going to watch, like my friends, a lot of you guys already graduated, but maybe someone who's still in college will watch this and be encouraged by it, and maybe it will help in some way. Yeah, I always hope that my videos help. That's why I do them. Not for my own personal gain or anything like that. But yeah, thank you for joining me in this coffee chat, and I shall see you guys next time. It's so weird filming again.